Hey guys, and welcome into another video. Now we're going to be reacting to another mock draft that got released today, or I guess yesterday. I don't know. Bucky Brooks had his first official mock draft, 1.0. It says Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, the only quarterback selected in round one. Interesting. No Malik Willis. But yeah, he posted this. We're going to react to it and kind of just, go from there. Let's make sure that's down so we don't have any videos playing. So yeah, I've not looked at this at all. This is completely raw. I went on YouTube and I saw somebody else was reacting to it. I'm like, okay, Bucky Brooks posted his. Let me record mine. So, yeah, it says right here, top 28 picks are set for the 2022 draft. Here's the projection of the first round, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. Jacksonville Jaguars, Evan Neal. I love it. I think Evan Neal is the pick. Even Ekwonu is the pick, I think. As much as I think the edge rusher would be cool to have Allen and such, and there's really no wrong pick here, you got Trevor Lawrence. Cam Robinson's in free agency. And you need the protection for Lawrence and ETN. I'm going to try and not spend as much time as I did on the Mel Kiper one on this one. But yeah, Evan Neal, love it, which means Aiden Hutchinson going to Detroit. I like this a lot. Michigan roots, high motor pass rusher, ultra athletic. Everything he's saying is perfectly true. I think that keeping the senior in Michigan would be really good for him. I think that he fits what Dan Campbell wants. Dan Campbell's an amazing coach when it comes to motivation in the players, and I think that Hutchinson really could be a leader for that defense. And just be the best available talent. Like edge rusher isn't their biggest need, but that's just a perfect fit for them. At pick 3, Kayvon Thibodeau does go to the Texans. We've seen a lot of moving around pieces around here because Evan Neal might be here, Thibodeau might be here. I haven't seen Hutchinson fall to 3, but Ekwonu, Hamilton. There's a lot of guys that could be in play here. Has a boomer bust feel, they say yes, but I mean he was the number 1 recruit coming out of high school. Continued to be that great of a player at Oregon, and this is a team that it doesn't need him to be the greatest right away. I know people are still worried about Clowney, but Clowney had some good years for Houston. The injuries are really what helped him, or what didn't help him in his career. Which means at pick 4, Ekam Ekwonu goes to the Jets. I like this a lot. You can move him to the inside, or you can keep him on the outside. It says Morgan Moses' contract's up. George Fant had a good year. Mekhi Becton, injuries have plagued him this last season and such, but yeah, I like it a lot. You can move him into guard and have a dominant pair of Vera Tucker and Ekwonu, and then have Fant and Becton as the tackles, and probably McGovern in the middle. There's ways to go, but yeah, you get a big tackle or an athletic guard. He's really good at what he does, man. Ekwonu's a beast, which means the Giants at pick 5, Charles Cross. I like this a lot. He could be the left tackle or the right tackle. He's a day 1 starter. I think if at pick 5. There's that's how the drafts went. I think that there'd be a strong consideration for Kyle Hamilton, just because even though safety's not a pressing need at all, having McKinney and Hamilton would be huge. And I think just talent, the Giants just need talent, so getting Kyle Hamilton would be huge. But I like Charles Cross a lot. Perfect situation. I want Ekwonu and Charles Cross as the picks for the Giants, but yeah, have your franchise tackles in Cross and Thomas. I like it a lot. Pick 6, Sauce Gardner to the Panthers. The second time we've seen it. I like it, man. Offensive tackle, not on the board. No need to reach on a quarterback. J.C. Horn looked good when he was playing, but he was hurt. C.J. Henderson, you hope to get as much out of him as you can. Former top 10 pick, I believe. Gilmore's probably going to hit free agency. I don't think they'll bring him back, especially if they get a guy like Sauce, but just have one of the best defenses in the league if there's no tackle to get here, or just try and trade down. The Giants' second pick, David Ajabo. I've seen this a lot as well. Very raw and athletic and talented sophomore. He only started playing football, I think, in 2017. So he's just an athletic monster. So the way he would learn from the game, especially if they get a DC like Wink Martindale, or even if they keep Patrick Graham, I think could help him out a lot. Again, I like going 2 offensive linemen, Linderbaum or such here, but I like the pick as well. Ajabo, I think, is a beast off the edge as well. Pick 8, Derek Stingley Jr. This is the pick I've been mocking to the Falcons a bunch. I love it. Don't make him be a number 1 corner right away because we don't know what his talent is right now. I love this pick. I love it. Have him and Terrell be a dominant tandem, kind of like we saw with Ramsey and Bouye back in Jacksonville. Cromartie and Revis. I mean, the list goes on, but yeah, just dominant force. Gilmore and Jackson. There's a bunch of duos, but these two would really make an identity against the Falcons, where you have to run the football because you can't pass against this Falcons defense, which will help out Grady Jarrett and hopefully some pass rushers that they get in free agency or the draft. Broncos, Kenny Pickett. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's hard because Elway has not had the best track record when it comes to taking quarterbacks. Osweiler was good for a while. Paxton Lynch didn't work out. Simeon was decent for a little while. Tebow, these guys, Locke, it just hasn't been great. So I think they'd rather go the veteran route because Peyton Manning worked out. But Pickett or Corral, I think, is the best situation for them because you need somebody who can go in there and it isn't raw and doesn't need time to develop like a Malik Willis. You need a guy who can go in there and run the offense right away. And I think Pickett and Corral are those guys. You have such talented receivers. You have a talented backfield, good offensive line, great tight end. Get somebody to lead that offense. Again, I think they'd rather a veteran, but right now we don't know. It's pre-free agency. I like the pick. Jets, Garrett Wilson. I've said it before and I've said it in other mock drafts. I don't mind the Jets getting a receiver. I think that it'd be best if they go with 2 defensive players with these picks because I think the receivers are so deep in this class where they can get arguably as talented of a receiver in their second round picks because they have 4 in the top 40, 4 picks in the top 40. So I understand the situation, but I think they'd rather get a veteran. But again, right now, pre-free agency, not a bad pick. Garrett Wilson's not personally my top receiver, but if he is for them, that's cool. Matt Corral to the football team. We're going to get a new name in about a week, which is cool to see. But, yeah, they need a franchise quarterback. Again, another team where I think a veteran might help them because they have a lot of talent on that team. But getting a guy like Matt Corral, I think he can run the offense. I think he can, do everything that they need. Dual threat. Get Terry McLaurin the ball. Something Heineke wasn't really able to do a lot this season. Hopefully, get something out of Curtis Samuel. They're paying him a lot of money, or if they let him go because that cap hit, free up some space, get some other receiving help. Logan Thomas will come back. Hopefully you can re-sign Chef. I like the pick a lot. Going over to the Vikings, George Karlaftis. No. Just no. Yes, Everson Griffin's going to be a free agent. Anthony Barr is going to be a free agent. You have Daniel Hunter, unless you're trying to get rid of Daniel Hunter, which I don't think they will. And they have another edge rusher who's pretty solid, young, but solid. I'm blanking on the name right now, but the hole is the secondary, and it's immense. You're taking the best corner here, or you're trading down. I don't see a way that they don't take a corner or something in the secondary, especially Kyle Hamilton's still on the board right now. We aren't even talking about that. Kyle Hamilton would be the pick, and it wouldn't even be close. The fact that Kyle Hamilton's still on the board right now is insane. So Kyle Hamilton would be the pick without a doubt. They'd be running to the podium to do that. But on top of that, Booth, McDuffie, all these guys, they get taken. There's no way they would go Karlaftis. I don't like it at all, personally. The Browns taking Drake London. I've seen this a lot. I think it's good because they need a superstar talent at receiver that's big. I don't know what's going to happen with Jarvis. I don't know what's going to happen with Baker, but getting him a receiver is good. Again, I don't know. I don't know. You had Odell and you didn't use him. Jarvis's production's been going down. This is obviously a run-heavy offense. So getting a big receiver like this, yeah, it's good, but does it help out a lot? I don't know. You tell me, Browns fans, what you like, how the scheme runs and such. I think it's just very run-heavy. Tyler Linderbaum comes off the 14. Did we see Kyle Hamilton come off the board? Am I tripping? Because there's no way Kyle Hamilton's still on the board, right? He's still on the board. Kyle Hamilton's still on the board. There's no way. Another team that would take Kyle Hamilton in a heartbeat. Tyler Linderbaum going to the Ravens. I like it a lot. Again, just they protect your assets, man. You have Bateman, Hollywood Brown, Dobbins, Edwards. Like I said, they had success with Yonda. Bozeman's a free agent. Zeitler's up there in age. Get some help in the interior offensive line. Kyle Hamilton comes off the board at 15. Obviously, for the Eagles, this is an amazing pick. If you end up with Kyle Hamilton, I'm pissed because it's pick 15. If Kyle Hamilton falls out of the top 10, someone's trading up to get him, and that's facts. So I don't like that Bucky has him ranked so low. I think that's the crazy part. Kyle Hamilton falling to 15, that's insane. But for the Eagles were able to get Kyle Hamilton or even trade like 2 of their first-round picks to move up and get Kyle Hamilton. I think that'd be amazing for their defense because they really just need help with their pretty much their whole defense, but especially that secondary. Treylon Burks, I think he's the best receiver in this class personally, and I think he's perfect because he's that athletic big type, which will pair well with Devonta Smith, who really is that deep threat route running type, and then Quez Watkins, who's really a fast deep threat as well. I think that would be a very balanced offense. Again, another team that might go the veteran receiver route, but if you want to keep it a young offense, and let Hurts, Burks, Smith, and Watkins, build with Sanders and Goddard in that offensive line. Hey, that's not a bad plan either. I think they should go all defense here, but they have the choice of their linebackers at this point. D tackles are still on the board. A lot of good edge rushers as well. Trevor Penning going to the Chargers. Yeah, Rashawn Slater was a great pick. Protecting Herbert is a must. Penning's a big athletic guy, and like it says, great in pass protection. That's really what the Chargers are looking at, so not bad. Saints taking Chris Olave. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Peyton stepped down. They have no cap space. No one knows what Michael Thomas is going to do. No one knows who is safe and who's not. So it's kind of crazy. But, yeah, Olave's not a bad pick. They need receiver help. They need a lot of help with a lot of different things. Eagles taking Jermaine Johnson. That is a very high selection for Jermaine Johnson, personally. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I don't think that – I don't know. Yeah, they need to find a replacement for Brandon Graham if they don't bring him back. Barnett's hitting the open market. Yeah, I don't know. Jermaine Johnson's kind of high for me. I have him as a second-round talent, but it's not a horrible pick. I think it's a little high. I think there's better players on the board. His rankings are very weird. Hamilton falling as low as he did. Trayvon Walker coming off the board here. The first D tackle coming off the board. Jordan Davis still on the board. Yeah, because he's kind of a tweener. No one really knows if he's a D end or D lineman. So, I mean, that versatility might be the better pick, but I think if you're the Steelers, you might look at a Malik Willis here. Or, there's a ton of offensive linemen still on the board, Kenyon Green, such, so that might help a lot. Devin Lloyd going to the Patriots is a money pick. No one knows what's going to happen with, Hightower, Van Noy. I think they're both free agents. And like I said, Swiss Army knife here. Yeah, Pac-12 Player of the Year. He's an absolute beast. He can pretty much do it all. He's my top linebacker. I like the pick a lot for the Patriots. Jordan Davis does come off the board to the Raiders. Awesome. Having Ngakoue, Crosby, and Davis on that D-line would be amazing. Would create a lot of pressure, would create a lot of trouble for opposing teams in the pass rush and the run. I really like the Jordan Davis pick. If Jordan Davis is here for the Raiders at 22, I would love that. Chet McDuffie going to the Cardinals, love it. Budda Baker, Byron Murphy are really the only things in the secondary that are solidified. I like Marco Wilson, but he's got to step up a little bit more if he wants to keep that depth chart. But really, he's not a corner two, but they had to use him as that because they really weren't getting corner production. This is a big offseason for the Cardinals. A big draft, big free agency period. I don't think Keim should still have his job with how he's created this roster and just kind of banked on this everyone staying healthy and not really caring about the depth. Because we saw what happened when Hopkins went out and when J.J. Watt went out. It just, you gotta build the depth. So getting McDuffie here, I think, is a great pick. Get a corner. It doesn't have to be McDuffie. Maybe you like somebody else, but get a corner, help him out. Have a number two with Byron Murphy, who really had a great year this year. I like that a lot. Cowboys, Kenyon Green, perfect. O-line isn't as great as it used to be. A lot of guys are having worse spots. Connor Williams had a very bad year. No one believed in him, as far as I know, from Cowboys fans. So have Kenyon Green pair with Zach Martin. You'd probably have the best guard tandem in the league. And that would really just get that Cowboys offensive line back to what it's always been. And that's just absolute, freak talent at offensive line. Help out Zeke and Prescott as much as you can because you got to keep your Super Bowl window open as much as you can with these horrible contracts, these huge contracts that have been paid out to this team. You're going to have a lot of people moving on, a lot of people you can't pay. So you just got to stop the bleeding and do what you can. Bills, Roger McCreary out of Auburn. Again, kind of high for McCreary, in my opinion. I see a lot of people saying corner for the Bills. Maybe. I guess when Trey White went down, they weren't the best, but also they have one of the best defenses in the league. It says the secondary's been the strength in the Bills' defense. So, yeah, I guess you could add to it. I think that you could do a lot of other things, maybe some offensive line help. Another receiver would be nice. Maybe the first running back comes off the board here. D-line help, maybe even another linebacker. I don't know, prepare for free agency in the next couple years, see who's going to stay, who's not going to stay. Maybe that's what you're doing here with McCreary, but not the biggest need, but also not a bad pick. I don't have him necessarily as a first-round talent, but he's not too far away from it. Titans, Jahan Dotson, interesting. I've seen Dotson pretty high up recently. I think it's nice. When Brown and Julio were out, it was a struggling offense, and they stayed afloat, man. I think receiver is a great pick for them. I think they could do a lot for this team, secondary and such as well. But Jahan Dotson definitely would help out this team, be at number 3. And then when Julio is done, whenever he is done, you have Dotson and Brown. I think that's a really good spot. Khair Elam to the Bucks. See, I would like Elam a lot. He's I think he's my third corner or fourth corner. Elam and Booth are still on the board, I believe. Now Elam's off the board, but him going to the Bucks I think is big. Don't know if they're going to get Carlton Davis back. A lot of the Bucks picks, a lot of these picks are going to have to do with who stays and who's gone. We don't know if Brady's coming back, and if that's gone, maybe Gronk's gone. Maybe you want to look at a Trey McBride, or if Godwin's gone. There's a lot of up in the air pieces, but Elam would be a monster. I really do like him a lot out of Florida. Just really, I really do like he's one of the best man-to-man coverage. I really do like him. DeMarvin Leal to the Packers. Yeah, why not? Just get, Rashawn Gary's had a breakout year. Kenny Clark has been amazing for them. Just add to the D-line. I mean, they're not going to go receiver. We all know that. This is probably Jordan Love's team next year, if I had to guess, personally. So, yeah, you can do a lot. You can go receiver. You can go tight end. I don't see them really getting offensive weapons, though. I do think they would help out the defense. So, yeah, secondary or D-line, I like that a lot. Maybe Booth would go here, but Leo's a good pick as well. Bernard Raymond to the Bengals. Yep, get the best offensive lineman. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if all the best offensive linemen are taken, you take the next best one as the Bengals. There's no way you walk out of this first round without an offensive lineman. You can't do it this year. Burrow needs to be protected. Him getting sacked 9 times and still winning the game shows how great of a quarterback you have, and you need to protect him. Even possibly, I would trade up and try and get one of even the top guys, but Raymond's not a bad pick at all. Dolphins here. They get the 49ers pick. Nakobe Dean. Yep, I like it a lot. Sideline to sideline. He's not as big as other linebackers, but he's just so athletic. He's kind of that safety linebacker hybrid type, which I do like for the Dolphins. Again, another team that just needs talent, so why not get a guy like Nakobe Dean? The Lions with pick 31 from the Rams. David Bell out of Purdue. Yes, like it a lot. He can be a number one option. Him and Amon-Ra would be really good together. Reynolds maybe comes back, but they need to build this offense up and get some points on the board. You have your franchise tight end in Hawkinson. You have a wide receiver. I'd say wide receiver too. I don't know if Amon-Ra is ever going to be a number one receiver, but he had an amazing rookie year, especially in that second half. He was arguably the best receiver in football that second half of the year, production wise. So get somebody to complement him. I like that a lot. And then with pick 32, Daxton Hill, the safety out of Michigan. Another one where it's just the Chiefs can really go anywhere. They're at pick 32 for a reason. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. So just get talent. So off the top of my head, Andrew Booth didn't go, which was surprising. I'm trying to think if there's any other players that like I usually have in the first round that didn't go. I can't think of any. Malik Willis, obviously, but it wasn't a horrible mock draft. Hamilton falling as far as he did, I don't know about that. His rankings, I feel like Bucky always has different rankings than a lot of people, and I'm not going to hate it. He has his background way more, it's way more proficient than mine, obviously. His rankings are usually a lot different than everyone else's, which makes these interesting to look at. But what did you guys think about his draft? I don't agree with a lot of the picks, but, we'll see what happens. We're very early on in the draft process. These are obviously the first mock draft, so we'll see how it progresses throughout the offseason. But let me know what your team is and how you grade his pick for your team. If you did enjoy me covering this mock draft, mocking the mock, leave a like. Be sure to leave a like. It really does help me out. And if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave that like. If you didn't, just refresh that page and let me know what you think a second time. And guys, without further ado, that's going to be from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.